shipping a convoy of ammunition. Belgium has pledged 3,800 tons of fuel and 2,000 machine guns. The EU has approved 1.2 billion emergency financial assistance, and the UN is upping their assistance an additional $2 billion. Look, folks, people ask me, what can we do? Thoughts and prayers are good. Blocking the skies is better. And I was told that ethics doesn't allow me to tell you to write a check to a particular entity. Monday, I'm writing a check to humanitarian organizations. You all should do the same thing. Long live Ukraine. God bless.
To Washington now, and he's got a series of meetings tomorrow. He'll be at the Ukrainian embassy, and he will also be at the Holodomor Memorial later in the afternoon for a commemoration event in Washington, D.C., along with his colleagues there. And I would like to ask another young lady to please step forward, Зоряна Бондрівська.
Hello. In 2018, my sister was a camp counselor in Ukraine for children who have either been displaced or orphans due to the war that began in 2014. A camper, we'll call her Ira to protect her identity, who lives in Kramatorsk, had reached out to my sister saying that she could hear bombs and gunshots from her own home. I've been keeping in contact with her every day since the invasion, and she has been updating me. I just pray that there is never a day when she stops responding to my texts. I don't know if she will ever be safe, but I do know that she is not the only child who feels a constant fear in her own home. These words go out to every Ukrainian child who fears if they will survive till tomorrow. This is not the first time that Russia has tried to eradicate Ukraine. But it's never happened, and it will never happen, because we are all here to protest for our beautiful country. My heart beats for Ukraine, and I stand with Ukraine. NATO, we need your help. Slava Ukraini!
I now ask Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy, 8th District, please come forward.
Slava Ukraini! I am honored to be here. Thank you so much. I want to thank the board and all members of UCCA. I want to thank the governor, the mayor, my congressional colleagues, other dignitaries for attending, and of course thank you to all of you for showing up. I want to say that on January 23rd, we gathered similarly to celebrate Ukrainian Reunification Day. At that time, my colleagues and I spoke strongly about our steadfast, unwavering support for the Ukrainian people as they confront Putin's Russia. Following that event, I was informed that the Russians took notice of my speech. They played portions of it on Russian television, and I'm paraphrasing. They said I was just a lowly Indian congressman supporting the Ukrainians. I'm glad that the Russians took note of my remarks, but they got a couple things wrong. First, I may be a humble congressman, but they should not mistake humility for meekness. I and all of us and our Ukrainian brothers and sisters will never shrink in the face of tyranny. Am I right about that? Second, I may be of Indian origin, but today we are all Ukrainians. We are Ukrainian in our love of freedom. We are Ukrainian in our love of peace. And we are Ukrainian in our love of democracy. Am I right about that? But make no mistake. Make no mistake about this. If dictators attack us,
they inspire us and the world, and Illinois is taking a stand against the bloodthirsty Russian invasion of the sovereign nation of Ukraine. I want to ask you, though, for a brief moment of silence to honor the more than 100 Ukrainians who have been killed in the Russian invasion so far, and to pray for the men, women, and children who continue to stand in resistance. Liberty, democracy, and humanity will defeat tyranny and oppression every time, but only if we resist in solidarity with the Ukrainian people. Time and again throughout history we have seen tyrants like Putin use false propaganda to claim some righteous cause in furtherance of their vicious agendas. Instead, righteousness is in the cause of freedom and sovereignty and peace, and righteousness is with the people of Ukraine. My own family is from Kiev, Ukraine. But whether you come from Ukraine, your family has descendants from Ukraine, or your family is from anywhere else in the world, today we are all Ukrainian. Today we stand in resolve against tyranny. Today we stand for democracy. And today we stand united for peace and freedom for Ukraine. To the heroes of Ukraine, Illinois is with you. Thank you.
Russian aggression! Stop 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 Russian aggression! You will see a flag that was donated to the city of Chicago, sister cities. Chicago and Kiev are sister cities, and this is a flag of the city of Kiev. Introducing the mayor of the sister city of Kiev, the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot.
We are gathered here. I, like you, have been heartsick when we learned the news late at night our time that the Russians had in fact carried through with their weeks-long threat to invade the peaceful, democratic nation of Ukraine. We must stand with our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. I'm grateful for the gathering of the elected officials who are here, the dignitaries, and particularly the Ukrainian American veterans who are here to our right. Thank you. We stand together today in solidarity with Chicago's Ukrainian community and this country of Ukraine. This community has historically been one of our oldest immigrant communities. Ukraine
Ukrainians started coming to Chicago in the late 1880s and into the early 1900s. So you have been a part of the fabric of this great city from our earliest days. We stand united against the continued bombardment of Ukrainian cities and send our prayers to those who are sheltering in their homeland because of the murderous actions of Vladimir Putin. Putin gone forward with disaster aggression against the country of Ukraine simply because the people of Ukraine aspire to be free, to be a democratic country, and align themselves with other countries with the same aspirations for their residents. We must stand united against the Putin aggression against Ukraine. As you heard from another speaker, it's Ukraine today, but it will be another democratic, freedom-loving country tomorrow. We must stop him in his tracks, and it begins right here and now with Ukraine. Make no mistake, as we now all know, but we knew before that Putin is a ruthless killer. He doesn't care about his own people, and he certainly doesn't care about the people of Ukraine. We must stand and continue to support President Biden for taking a strong stand and uniting the Europeans against the aggression. But that isn't enough. And that's why we must provide humanitarian aid to the nations that are supporting Ukraine, like Romania and Poland, that are opening their borders to support the neighbors who are fleeing the violence. You heard earlier from the Consul General a long list of things that must be done immediately to support Ukrainians. Let me add to that list. We must urge our federal immigration authorities to provide temporary protected status for Ukrainians who may live in Chicago, and to open up our borders to Ukrainians who want to come here for freedom. Another freedom-loving country like Ukraine. Kiev is our sister city, and we stand united with them. We must also say a prayer for the brave, common Russians who are standing up in cities all across that country to brutal attacks because they dare raise their voice in opposition to Putin. We must say a prayer and support those Russians as well. Final point. This conflict will come to an end. As a person of faith, I know that we must continue to send our thoughts and prayers and stand in solidarity. But what we also must do is raise our voices. When they are at the negotiating table, bargaining an end to this conflict, it cannot be that they bargain away the freedom of Ukrainians as a part of the price of ending this conflict. The only thing that should be on the table is when Vladimir Putin appears in front of a tribunal for his war. We must stand united, and we have to continue to raise our voices and not be silent in the face of this tyranny, this murderous operation by Putin. We have to continue to fight and provide weapons and humanitarian aid to our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. Freedom for Ukraine forever.
another young lady to step forward. Lana Gray is of Lithuanian and Ukrainian heritage. Lana?
Hello. To know the truth, one must face it without a filter of one's beliefs or per se dogmas, however respectable they may be. Putin has decided to try and rewrite history, to not only lie to his own people, but to the world. A dictator who, if anyone goes and stands up against him, he either poisons, kills, exiles, and this is exactly what he is.
Kill him!
Wait, do you need the retain on with the braces?
No. Does your retain on?
Yeah, whatever. But you got too far.
No. What can you not eat? Apples?
I'm gonna say when it fix our time.
Well, you brush your teeth. He says that's cool. He says that's cool.
Вони знають, як кошик хліба. А тепер я чую, що наші хлопці по лісах готують для них коктейлі, так що будуть знати, що Україна любить давати їм коктейлі. Настане